African news updates on top accolade news. The headlines. Afriforum appeals to US to target South African politicians over Land Expropriation Act. Zimbabwe's retail sector faces crisis as over 1,000 jobs are cut. Kenya's central bank cuts benchmark rates. Severe power shortage in Liberia. In politics, Afriforum appeals to US to target South African politicians over Land Expropriation Act. Afriforum, a South African civil rights organization, has announced plans to request that the US government direct its wrath at South African politicians, not ordinary citizens, over the country's controversial land expropriation law. The CEO blamed President Cyril Ramaphosa and the African National Congress for the US threat to withdraw aid, arguing that the Land Expropriation Act could harm the poorest South Africans and scare off investors. The group's criticism comes as South African officials pushed back against claims that the law targets the white minority. Local residents have mixed views on the policy, with some seeing it as an opportunity for black South Africans to gain land, while others worry about its economic impact. Shifting focus to economy, Zimbabwe's retail sector faces crisis as over 1,000 jobs are cut. Zimbabwe's retail sector is in crisis with over 1,000 jobs lost as companies struggle to stay afloat. Many retailers such as Choppies, Unilever are scaling back or exiting the country, while long-standing brands face mounting challenges. The Commercial Workers Union of Zimbabwe has voiced concern with workers on fixed-term contracts bearing the brunt of job cuts. Many now face severe hardship, unable to provide for their families and lack safety nets such as pensions. The worsening informal sector and a deteriorating economy are at the heart of the sector's collapse, deepening the country's poverty crisis. Still in economy, Kenya's central bank cut benchmark rates. Kenya's central bank has lowered its benchmark lending rates by 50 basis points to 10.75%, following a meeting of its Monetary Policy Committee. This move aligns with economics prediction, aiming to stimulate economic activities by making borrowing cheaper. The central bank also reduced the cash reserve ratio for commercial banks by 100 basis points to 3.25%, a step intended to further support lower lending rates and ease financial pressures on borrowers. These measures come as a part of efforts to boost economic recovery amid ongoing challenges. Moving to energy, severe power shortage in Liberia. Liberia is facing severe power outages as the Liberia Electricity Corporation announces an 85% reduction in electricity supply due to an emergency directive from its primary power supplier, CIE of Côte d'Ivoire. CIE has reduced its power delivery from 50 megawatts to just 7.5 megawatts, citing maintenance and production challenges. This drastic cut will lead to prolonged blackouts across Monrovia and surrounding areas, affecting homes, businesses, and essential services. Although LEC is activating its thermal power plant to supplement the shortfall, officials warn that the energy gap will remain significant. Authorities are urging residents to conserve power and prepare for extended outages. You are watching the African News Update on Top Accolade News. Do stay with us. Still to come. Stay with us. In international relations, MNANGAGWA supports US decision to deport 545 Zimbabweans. Zimbabwe's President Emmerson Mnangagwa has expressed support for US President Donald Trump's decision to deport 545 Zimbabweans as part of a broader crackdown on illegal immigration. These individuals are among the 1.4 million non-citizens slated for removal following a list issued by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement last November. MNANGAGWA stated that Zimbabwe welcomes the repatriation of its citizens who have been residing in the U.S. illegally. The move comes as the Trump administration intensifies its America First immigration policies with daily raids targeting undocumented immigrants. In conflict, M23 rebels gained ground in eastern Congo despite ceasefire announcement. Rwandan-backed M23 rebels have continued to advance in eastern Congo, seizing another city despite declaring a unilateral ceasefire earlier this week. Civil society group and local residents confirmed the rebels' territorial gains, while the UN deputy head in Goma warned of the ongoing volatility and the potential for escalation. The rebels announced the ceasefire on humanitarian ground to allow aid to reach displaced civilians, but the Congolese government have dismissed the declaration as a false communication. The situation remains tense as heavy fighting continues in the region, raising concerns about the future of Congo's mineral-rich eastern provinces. In entertainment, National Museum of Kenya tops Google Map ranking as most reviewed museum. The National Museum of Kenya has been ranked as the most reviewed museum in the country according to the latest Google Maps data. The museum, managed by the National Museums of Kenya, led a list that includes other notable institutions. Additionally, Uhuru Park was named as the most reviewed park in Kenya, following closely by Nairobi National Park. Google Maps is celebrating its 20th anniversary and has evolved significantly from a basic mapping service into a trusted tool that offers real-time traffic, street view, and 3D views, shaping the way people explore the world. Now in sports, FKF audit uncovers financial mismanagement. An audit of the Football Kenya Federation has exposed serious issues including financial mismanagement, referee bribery, poor human resource management, and costly legal battles. FKF president revealed that the federation is facing nearly 400 million Kenyan shillings in debt, with a lack of transparency in managing its 16 bank accounts. The audit also highlighted systemic issues in refereeing, with allegations of bribery and match fixing, as well as low employee morale due to poor HR practices. The report has called for a complete overhaul of the Federation's financial system, HR policy, and a stronger stance on referee integrity. That concludes our African news updates for today. Stay tuned for more African news and developments. Thanks for joining us. I am Ojo Okocha. Connect and engage with us on all our social media handles. Do have a wonderful day.